Have you ever watched someone completely unqualified get handed power they didn't earn and then immediately abuse it? Because that's exactly what happened here. A guy who wasn't even supposed to be eligible for promotion suddenly became our team lead, and when he tried to force us to like him, I didn't yell. I didn't complain. I followed the rules, and that destroyed him. If you've ever been ignored by HR, talked down to by a fake leader, or pressured at work to give up your free time just to look loyal, then you're going to love this one. Hit like, subscribe, and buckle up, because this is one of those rare revenge stories where doing the right thing hurts the wrong person the most. The promotion that made no sense. I worked in a mid-sized office, nothing glamorous, about 30 people on our team. Most of us had been there for years. We knew the systems, the clients, the chaos. And then one day, management announced a promotion. They promoted him, an entry-level guy, less than a year at the company, zero leadership experience, no qualifications, no results. HR rules explicitly stated he wasn't even allowed to apply. But somehow, he became one of 3 team leads under our manager. The office went quiet in that way where no one says anything, but everyone is thinking the same thing. You've got to be kidding me. Everyone knew why he got it. This wasn't a mystery. He was a classic suck-up, always laughing too loud at management jokes, always agreeing, never questioning, hovering around the boss's desk like a loyal pet waiting for a treat. Before the promotion, people tolerated him. After, they despised him. HR complaints were filed, multiple. Qualified candidates with spotless records were passed over. Every grievance was quietly dropped. And that's when the resentment really set in. Power reveals the real person. The promotion didn't make him confident, it made him desperate. Middle management knew he was hated, so they told him politely that he needed to work on team morale. Translation, make people like you. So he came up with a plan, monthly happy hours. Not technically required, but in his words, you should think of them as required. The pressure campaign begins. The first happy hour was announced, and you could feel the anxiety ripple through the office. People whispered in break rooms, checked calendars, texted spouses. Some coworkers had hour-long commutes each way. Some scrambled to find babysitters. Others genuinely couldn't afford to lose their overtime. But they were terrified. Because when your new boss says something is optional but required, what he really means is your job depends on this. And here's the kicker. I wasn't even under him. I said no. I knew my rights, so when the invite came, I declined, politely, calmly, professionally. That didn't stop him from swinging by my cubicle, once, twice, again the day of the event, each time with that fake smile. You coming tonight, right? And each time I gave the same answer. No, if I'm not on the clock, you can't require me to be there. He didn't like that. He walked away in a huff, jaw tight, face red. I could tell I'd just made an enemy. Public shaming attempt. The next morning, everyone came in exhausted. They pretended the happy hour was fun, but you could see it in their eyes. They just wanted to escape. At our morning stand-up, he started gushing. Great turnout last night, really shows team spirit. Then his eyes locked onto me. He smirked. Some people didn't bother showing up. Management notices when people aren't team players. The room went silent. I felt 30 pairs of eyes flick toward me. My heart rate spiked, but not from fear, from clarity. The breaking point. I smiled. Internally, I was already drafting the email. Because here's the thing about bullies with authority. They rely on ignorance, and I was about to remove that. The email that changed everything. 20 minutes later, I sent a message to the entire team. Friendly tone, non-confrontational, perfectly professional. I cited the state statute.
Hourly employees cannot be required to attend unpaid work events, period. I ended with reassurance. If you can't make it, no worries at all. No accusations, no drama, just facts. Immediate fallout. You could feel the shift. People sat up straighter, started whispering, not in fear, but relief. The next two required but not required happy hours, he sat alone at the bar, nursing a drink, watching empty stools. No pressure, no threats, no power, just silence. He never confronted me. He couldn't, because I hadn't broken a rule. I'd followed them perfectly, and in doing so, I stripped him of the only thing he had, control. He had to find another way to force people to like him. Spoiler alert, he never did. Here's the lesson. You don't need to be loud to win. You don't need to be cruel to get justice. Sometimes the most devastating revenge is simply knowing your rights and calmly letting the truth do the damage. If this story made your blood boil or brought a smile to your face, hit that like button. Subscribe for more real, satisfying Reddit revenge stories, and tell me in the comments